Today is the day. I have had dreams of making this video for a very long time, and it is happening. And that video is judging overpriced homes on Zillow. Have other people done this? Probably. Am I going to do it myself? Absolutely, because I consider myself to be kind of an expert on overpriced homes in Zillow, specifically Los Angeles. Now, do I live in LA? No. Do I live anywhere close to LA? Not really. Okay, so the criteria is that they have to be in Los Angeles. Okay? We're not going to do Santa Monica. We're not going to do any of the other cities outside of LA, although I'm sure one will sneak in because I am not an expert on LA. I am just an expert on the ugly ass houses in LA. The price has to be at least $5 million. Okay, we're starting off strong. We've got a $115 million home. Yep, 9 bedrooms, 13 baths, 14,941 square feet, built in 2015. Okay, this looks like a house that I built in like The Sims 2. Like, you know how like whenever you build in The Sims and you just build like an overpriced house, this looks kind of like what I would do. Like, just way oversized, way too big for anyone. This house might not actually be ugly though. I just think 14,000 square feet is unnecessary. Yeah, like I feel like we're kind of in Europe a little bit, which I guess isn't necessarily a bad thing, but we're in LA, but I'm feeling like we're in Europe. I don't hate it. Like, these little heart mosaics are very cute, very quirky. I like that. I think this house, its biggest crime is just how large it is. Never mind, I take it back. I fucking hate I hate it so much. Here's the thing. I like the wood. Like, I kind of like that, like, I don't know what you would call it. I'm not an interior designer. I'm just a little sassy person. I kind of fuck with the wood, like the wood paneling, and I like what's going on the ceiling here. I have beef with oversized fireplaces because my thought is, you're in LA. At what point are you ever going to light a fire big enough? Like, I just feel like this fireplace does not belong in Southern California. Also, it's a fire hazard. Why is this fire? You know, if you stand next to that fireplace, it's taller than you. And that makes me so uncomfortable. Like, it's so unsettling to be near a fireplace that's bigger than you, because I just feel like, what happens if you fall in? You literally could not have kids in this house. Like, this is a hazard waiting to happen. And I hate that blue furniture. I'm so sorry. Like, why is it blue and red? It's like weirdly patriotic, but also not. The house itself is really not that bad. It's the furniture. Like, what are we doing? I don't hate a gold foil ceiling. I just feel like there's a lot going on, and it's like weirdly kind of modern. Like, it's got some really nice, like, smooth lines, but then we've also got these like really vintage looking chandeliers and these columns. And it's not terrible. It's just not great. But like, if your home is so big that you need 2 coffee tables, let's start questioning that. Why do you have 3 chandeliers? This is like the formal living space. This doesn't make any sense. If your formal living space needs 3 chandeliers and 2 coffee tables, it's too big. Okay, I'm eating my words with this house because honestly, it's not that bad. But it's so big. It's fucking massive. It's huge. I can't get over how big it is. I hate it. I hate it so much. I love the color of the cabinets, but that's about all I like. It's giving like wealthy early 2000s. You know what I mean? Like, this home would be beautiful in like the countryside of Italy, but we are in LA. I don't know. I don't know how to feel about it. That last home was a little bit of a flop because it actually wasn't that ugly. So we're going to try again. We have... This is fucking ridiculous. For $137 million, you can get 14 bedrooms, 27 bathrooms, and 56,000 square feet. That is absurd. That is the craziest thing I've ever heard. It looks like a government agency. Like it looks like a government building in like the South. Like this is not a home. This is a palace. And I just think like how much effort, like, could you imagine like, oh, I've got to play tennis at 9 a.m. and then I'm going to go swim at 11. It would take you like half an hour to walk from one side of your home to the other. And I find that to be incredibly ridiculous. Like, why do we need this? How many people do you have coming over? That's my question. You have to be an extrovert to live in a house like this because it could not be me. It's not bad. It's kind of giving like Great Gatsby, like, you know, when like he falls into the pool. You know what I'm talking about? That's what it reminds me of. It's giving Leonardo DiCaprio falling into a pool. It's got a beautiful yard. I could do some frolicking, and honestly, I probably would. I have a California king size quilt that I use whenever I go lay in the park, and I think that might take up a portion of the lawn if I were to bring that out there. It just kind of reminds me of like a southern university. Like my sister went to the University of Alabama, and this kind of reminds me of like a building that you would see there, just like massive and very well groomed, very well maintained, very old money. I feel like we could have more trees. Like I just feel like there's not enough trees. I wonder what like the landscaping costs on a home like this. We have to have a tennis court, of course, for, you know, all of your tennis needs. I hate it. Why are these little fences around the trees? What is that? Like, why are they just like surrounding the trees? We've got a koi pond, of course. Can't live without the koi pond. I really don't like it. Like, I don't know. There's just something, like, it's not the worst thing I've seen. I just really don't like it. There's just a hella trees. Like, it feels like the outside of a really nice art museum. You know, like when you go to like a really nice art museum and they have like the shrubbery and the bushes are kind of meant to like be incorporated with the rest of the art. This is what this feels like. This feels like an art piece, but like not in a good way. Like I don't like the overly manicured look. I like the landscaping to look as if somebody actually lives here, and I'm not convinced somebody lives here. There is not a single leaf out of place. I just think like it's too much. You have a street lamp at your home. That's crazy. We're finally inside and I fucking despise it. I don't know what it is with wealthy people and the like all white interior, but it doesn't make sense. The outside of the home is this kind of like warm beige color, and then as soon as you walk in, you're just hit with like cool white and black, and it just feels so sterile. Also, you know, these floors get dirty in 0.2 seconds. You've got not only white marble floors, but black marble floors. How do you even keep this clean? This chandelier, it looks like a piece of selenite. You know, like the selenite towers. That's what it reminds me of. I can't. It's too much white. It's just there needs to be more color. Oh. It's so much white. I don't know if this home is staged or if the person who actually lives here like decorates their home like this. I don't even know if somebody does actually live here. It's so much white. It's actually absurd. Like you could, I have grape juice with me right now. I wouldn't dare. No, not that I could afford this house, but if I was touring this home, I would be like, okay, great. I'm never going to have kids. I'm never going to have pets. I'm never going to have any fun. Everything's going to get stained. Except for this black baby grand piano in the corner. Of course, we have to have the baby grand. It's just too white and it's too big. It reminds me of like a waiting room in a bridal shop. Oh, we have another living room with all carpet. Was the last one carpet? No. Is that a rug? I think that's a rug. That's a massive rug. Where do you find a rug that big? This one has carpet. I don't understand how these like incredibly wealthy people have carpet throughout their entire house. Like if it were up to me, I would have hardwood. Not a white room this time, but a gray room. So we've got gray walls, some gray furniture, gray curtains, and then we've got some black accents. So we've got a black fireplace, some black lamps. We've got like a hint of color with these coffee table books. Overall though, it's pretty gray. I think there is absolutely a time and place. If you want an all gray home, by all means do it. Don't let me influence you. It's just such a big room that I feel like because it's so big and one color, it just looks like a blob of gray. How many people do you know that your dining table seats 22 people? You have 6 flower arrangements because your dining table is so massive. I feel like if you were to be at dinner with 22 people, you wouldn't even be able to hear each other down the table. This is not a dining table. This is like one of those banquet tables that they have in Game of Thrones where like you can't even see the other person at the end of the table. That's crazy to me. And then you've got this big ass oval fucking, what is that? This thing. And then you've got this chandelier that kind of looks like a squid and it's just like falling down onto the table. And then you've got another big ass rug. And this room is a nice mix of beige and gray. So, you know, we mixed it up, but we still got no color in this house whatsoever. We've got a white, what do we call this? Entertainment room. I do like those vacuum lines on the carpet though. I will say that. I do love a good vacuum line. I want an ounce of color. You know this home echoes. Oh, we've got another living room. This house has like 5 living rooms. We've got another one that's all white. Oh, we've got a bowling alley. I do think that would actually be really fun to have like a bowling alley in your home. I am comically bad at bowling, but I do like it. I do think this is a little bit of a risk having some mirrors on the side of the bowling alley. Like I've definitely thrown a bowling ball at a wall unintentionally. Like you're breaking that, but I guess you probably have the money to repair it. I feel like having a gray movie room, fine. That makes sense. It's going to be dark anyway. I'm not going to criticize the movie room too much, except for the fact that these people have a tiered movie room. It literally looks like a theater. I don't understand the isolated coffee table. Like, I don't understand why there aren't chairs around the coffee table. We've got another big ass rug with a big ass bed and a big ass couch at the end of your big ass bed, sandwiched in between 2 big ass nightstands and a big ass mirrored headboard. What is that? You know what? Okay, I'm gonna give that home a C+. It was big. It was nice. I hated every piece of decoration in that house. That is $119 million, or well, $120 million, basically. 12 bedrooms, 17 bathrooms. It does not list a square footage. Okay, before we actually start looking at this house, I want to give you some highlights on it. So it has a climate-controlled cigar lounge, a sleek vodka tasting room, a fully equipped fitness center including a climbing wall, Peloton bikes, steam room, and a spa, a soundproof cinema with motorized Belgian leather seating, Italian oak walls, a Portuguese marble fireplace, and boutique-worthy walk-in closets. I do believe I have actually looked at this house before, but I won't spoil my feelings on it. Okay, I like the exterior of the home. It's modern. I like the waterfall pool. I think that that's really fun. And I feel like if you're going to have a modern home, it makes sense to have a waterfall pool. I feel like an evil villain lives here. Like if the last one was like a university building on a southern campus, this is where like the evil villain in like the suburbs of a metropolis lives. Like, I don't know. There's something about it that feels a little devilish, a little mischievous. Okay, so this is the drive up. Yeah, I have looked at this home before. I'm going to fucking flame this chandelier in just a minute. Walk up. Could you imagine like coming home drunk and falling into whatever pond this is? Like, this is a safety hazard. All of these homes, I'm realizing, like, the wealthier you get, the more safety hazards you have in your home. If you were unsteady in any way, you're falling into this water. What is that? I don't know what that is, but I don't like it. I like I do like the homes where the windows open or the doors open and it kind of becomes like an indoor outdoor space. My only question is like, do you not have pets? Like if I open that door, my cat is leaving. I hate it. I hate it so much. I hate the like chef's kitchen look inside of homes because in my thought process, it's like if you wanted a chef's kitchen, you would like go to a restaurant. A chef's kitchen inside of a home just screams, I have a private chef, and it just screams, we are not the same. You know what I'm saying? But I'm sure the private chef they hire loves this kitchen. I hate these floors. I don't know what it is. They remind me of like alligator skin, and it makes me uncomfortable. I don't like this wall. I don't know what it is. It's like marble, but that it's been like woven together. It looks like, you know, the gear that like medieval knights wear. It reminds me of like the chain linking on their costumes or their armor. The furniture reminds me of like a designer bag, and I don't want my furniture to look like a purse. Like I want a purse to look like a purse. I don't want my couch to look like a purse. And this couch is giving purse. And again, I ask, why do you need such a large bedroom? And that marble wall has to go. I hate a marble wall. I hate a whole marble wall so much. It is like my least favorite thing in these houses. I just think like, one, how expensive was that? It reminds me of like corporate offices, like, you know, the like concrete buildings that have barely any windows, but then they also have like a marble wall. That's what it reminds me of. It feels very corporate, but it's where you live, and I don't like that. I'm even gonna comment on the outdoor furniture. I'm so sorry. Also, I want to say this is no shade if you like any of these things. If you're like, I love that furniture, I love that for you. I hate this furniture. I hate it so much. It reminds me of like a picnic basket, but like a glam picnic basket. Like somebody's like taken a picnic basket and woven like gold foil through it. Listen, if I had a closet that looked like this, I wouldn't be complaining about much. I can't even really hate. I don't like the closet, but like if I had a closet that was this big, I wouldn't really care what the actual closet looked like. It's so much marble. And I think that's what's throwing me off about it. It's so much marble, and it's so many different types of marble. There is no unity in what types of marble the people in this house used. I feel like the people who built this house were like, how many different types of marble can we get in our home? And I want that. Like, you know how like you collect whatever crystals you want? Like you just go to the crystal shop and you just start getting crystals left and right. You don't even care. You're like, oh, this one's pretty. Oh, this one's pretty. This one's pretty. This house was made by a rock girl. Like the person who built this house definitely has a massive collection of crystals, because the amount of different marbles, they put no thought into if any of this was going to match. But you know what? When you have a $120 million home, I guess you don't have to put in a lot of thought. Although I will say this home has been on the market for years, so I'm not even convinced anyone's ever lived here. This fucking chandelier. It's so awful. I'm just thinking about like my cat would see the bottom of this chandelier and she would definitely try to eat it. Like I don't know. It feels weird to have the bottom of the chandelier just sitting on the floor like that. Like I get it's supposed to be kind of an art piece and a chandelier in one. The bottom of the dress of like a flapper, but not in a good way. Like I think there's a time and place for flapper fringe, and this is not it. I will never understand collecting this many bottles of wine. Like I get it's a status of wealth or a symbol of wealth. You will never drink this much wine in your entire life. I don't even know enough people in like, I don't even know enough people. Okay. I forgot about this. This home has like a car elevator. So like you can look at the different cars the owners have. My question is, how do you heat and air condition this home? These rooms are massive. Like what is your heating and air bill? I think if you have a car elevator, you have too much money. Okay, I do like the gym. Like I like this rock climbing wall. I think that that's really cool. Why the need for Six, is that 6 Peloton bikes? Why do you need 6 Peloton bikes? I mean, I guess if you're gonna have the girlies over for like a Peloton day, but like that just seems excessive. Also, you have 3 TVs facing different directions. That's bonkers to me. I do like the projector screen above the pool. That's pretty cool, actually. It's ridiculous. It's unnecessary. It's so wasteful. But if you have a home bar, light up swings as the seats at the bar, that's pretty cool. Like, but I would also worry about like kids using these, because then they would try to like, you can only swing one way, and like if you swing back the other way, you're gonna hit your back on the bar. So they're not the most practical. I'd rather have like the swings being like above the pool, and then you can like jump off into the pool. But it is pretty cool. I will give it that. This is fine. This is practical given the rest of the house. Okay, overall, that house was absolutely ridiculous, but I feel like the aesthetic matched the modernity of the house, if you will. We're going to come a little bit closer to earth now. This next home is $28 million. Oh, oh, not the foreclosure. Okay. So somebody did live in this house. This is a $28 million home, 10 bedrooms, 16 bathrooms, and 18,500 square feet. So a little bit more practical than the last one. Not practical enough to not be foreclosed on, though, unfortunately. Okay, again, we have this kind of like infinity pool setup. I'm here for it. I like it. I like a herringbone floor. I really do. I don't like this herringbone floor, though. It's a lot of space. I just feel like at a certain point, you have to ask yourself, is my living room too big? I don't really have a living room, so I can't answer that. But I just feel like, I don't know, if you have 2 couches in the middle of your living room, and then you've got like another living room off to the side of your living room is probably too big. I do like these windows. I feel like it kind of gives like a mid-century vibe to the home, and I feel like they've kind of went a little mid-century with the furniture. But again, I say 2 coffee tables. 2 coffee tables. Why do we need 2 coffee tables? That's a lot. It does feel a little corporate. I'm not going to lie. I feel like it is kind of like the waiting room inside of like a really fancy bank. Not a bank that any of us use, but like a really like, I don't know, like Charles Schwab or something. It kind of feels like when you go downtown and there's, you know, like a big bank that you would never use because you're too broke. But you look inside the windows and you see the waiting room and you're like, that's a really nice waiting room. I'd love to have enough money to bank here one day. This is actually a really nice photo. I feel like this photo captures the living room better than the last one did. It's pretty. Like, you're kind of in the, I have no idea where this is in LA, but I'm assuming the hills of some kind. I like that we can see the nature going on. I'm a big tree fan. Stairs like this give me anxiety because I feel like if you have pets or small children, they're like going to go flying through the back of the stair. That just freaks me out. I don't like that. I do not like this kitchen. And, well, I don't like anything in this video. Again, with the 2 coffee tables, if you have 2 kitchen islands, you have too much house, right? Like, and the rich people try to justify it. Like, they're like, well, you can prepare food on one island and then you can serve your family on the other island. You're not cooking your own food anyway. You have a private chef. What do you mean cooking the food? Your chef is cooking the food, not you. So when your chef cooks the food, then you can serve your family. Then if you're going to serve your family at the second island, what's the point of having a dining room? I don't even own a dining table. I eat in bed most days. And I know that's controversial. I also don't really care that much. I like the window in the kitchen. I love a window behind a sink. I really do. In any home, modern or traditional. You have 2 like hoods, like 2 hoods for your stove. That's crazy. You know, from this angle, it's not terrible. It really isn't. But again, it's just a lot of kitchen. It's a lot of kitchen. My question is like, first of all, I know you're not cleaning this home yourself. How many people do you have to bring in to clean a home this big, right? Like, 1 housekeeper is not going to do it. I don't even think 2 would. Like, do you think these people have like 5 to 10 housekeepers coming into their home? That's insane. Where do they park? Do you feed them? Do you treat them well? I wonder if there are any luxury housekeepers out there who can give insight into cleaning homes this big. Please let me know. I actually really like this room. This is more my vibe. I like the, I don't know, kind of green textured walls. I like the funky shaped furniture and the wood and the natural colors. I really vibe with this. I'm going to give it to this one. I don't hate this bedroom, but it is too big. Again, I like the natural colors. I like the herringbone in here. I feel like it's probably the same floor, but for some reason I like it in here where I didn't like it downstairs. I can appreciate the windows that open, right? But again, I have questions about pets and kids, and like anybody could just sneak out or sneak in. I'd be more worried about people breaking into my home. I do like an isolated fireplace that kind of blocks off the other half of the room. I think that that's a really nice touch. I'm interested to see what's on the other side of the fireplace. Okay, we're not going to see what's on the other side of the fireplace. We are going to see the bathroom, which I do like. I do like the bathroom. I am not a huge fan of all white, but I do vibe with this. I think, because it's not really white, it's like off-white. It's like a beige cream. And I think they've added enough color with the painting and with the bathtub and the natural wood. It works for me. My one qualm, when you have a shower this big, does it steam up enough that you get privacy? Even if I was the only person living in this home and I wasn't worried about anyone else walking in on me showering, I still would feel very exposed with a shower like this. Like, do wealthy people not care about their privacy? A giant plush rug in the bathroom kind of grosses me out a little bit. A rug this big with then like cloth furniture on top of it. Is it going to get moldy? I guess not if you have the doors open. I don't know. It feels not the right place to have like this much cloth and like plush. I don't like the way it looks, but if I had a closet this big, I wouldn't be complaining too much. I don't understand the random tiny ass rug in the middle of the closet. But besides that, I don't have a ton of complaints about it. It does kind of look like JCPenney a little bit. Okay. If you have a house this big and your kids are sharing rooms, fuck you. I mean, I get it. It's just placement. It's just staging. If you have a house this big and your kids are sharing rooms, you either have a fuck ton of kids or you hate your kids. The staging is cute. I just find it so funny that they have two bedrooms that they have two beds in the same room. Like this house isn't 16,000 square feet. Again with the herringbone. Like I don't hate it here. I think it looks nice with the painting. There's obviously good sunlight. I feel like we had an opportunity to put more plants in this house, but missed opportunity, I guess. We get a little bit of color in here, just a little bit. This is what was on the other side of the main bedroom. Big ass mirror. Is that a mirror? That's not a mirror. That's not a mirror. I thought this was a mirror off to the left. No, it's another part of the room. Wait, am I missing something? Are these the same? No, wait. These are two different rooms. Okay, so how many seats are in this? In this picture alone, I counted 9 different seats in the main bedroom and a wet bar. So, I don't know. These people are getting up to crazy things in their bedroom. I like it. I do. I really like this textured wall. There's something about it. And I like the asymmetrical shelving. I think that looks really nice. I feel like for the size of this house, this is a modest home gym. Like, I feel like this is fine. Nothing compared to the 6 Pelotons in the last one. I don't understand it. Is that a jacuzzi? What is this? Is this a bathroom? I think is it a spa? The simple fact that I'm not entirely sure what this is kind of upsetting to me. Again, a gray home theater, not much going on. I'm not gonna hate on it. Yeah, nice. Okay, lots of green. I don't like it a lot. Not the IKEA chairs. they ran out of the budget. They put these IKEA chairs around the dining table outside. I don't hate it. It's fine. I just think, again, way too big. I want to give us some diversity with the different types of houses that we look at, but a lot of these rich people have very similar taste, so I'm kind of struggling with that one. Y'all, I'm gonna break my computer. I have 2 apps running at the same time and my computer's like, whoa, please calm down. We're gonna look at this house in the canals. It is about $6 million, 4 bedrooms, 5 bathrooms, 4,200 square feet. So far, so good. Like, it's, well, okay. Here's what throws me off about Venice is like you could have this cute little quaint cottage looking house and then right next to it you have like an ultra modern house. I guess that's not necessarily a bad thing. Like I would rather have that than have those like policies where all of the homes have to look basically the same. I think that's really weird. Like when the homes look too similar, it freaks me out, but it just kind of makes me giggle whenever I see this like little cottage house and then this box of stone right next to it. I hate the walls so much. I don't know. The whole room is wood, but like they're all different colors. Like we've got some warm wood on the floor, black wood on the walls, and then like cool toned wood on the ceiling. I don't understand it and I don't like it. Again, so many wood tones. Like there's just a lot going on. It's reminding me of the house with all the marble, except they didn't have the budget for the marble, so they're doing like different colored woods. There are is that marble or is that wood? I honestly can't even tell. There's at least 3 different tones of wood. No, there's 4 different tones of wood, at least in this bathroom. It feels like Minecraft-y to me. I can't put my finger on it, but there's something about it that feels weirdly juvenile about it. Is that a sauna? That's a sauna. Sorry. This toned wood is encasing the sauna, so it had to be a different toned wood than the one encasing the doorway, and it had to be different than the one on the wall, but that might also be marble, and it had to be different than the one on the ceiling. We can't have the same tone wood. Is that carpet? That is not carpet. Tell me that doesn't look like carpet. That looks like carpet. But I know there's no damn way these people put carpet in the kitchen. I feel like I'm being punked. Is that carpet? There's no way. I actually don't hate the all black kitchen. I find it to be kind of chic and cool. But if that's carpet, I'm throwing up. Oh, this is like a guest house with more wood tones. The crazy thing is, and the absolutely bonkers insane thing is that you should see how many different wood tones I have in my house. But the difference is that I am a poor person, and the different wood tones are because I just bought the furniture how it was. This was intentional. These people had the money, and they said, you know what? 3 different wood tones. I don't even care. And I think different wood tones can work. Like I don't think your house has to be entirely one shade of wood. Like I think you can have different tones. I just don't know that it really works here. If I had to envision what the coffee bar at WeWork looked like, it would be this. There's a lot of lights. There's so many lights for one sink. Is it not that it's wood, but it's marble? Is that marble and not wood? Okay, maybe I'm the dumb one. Maybe it's marble and not wood. It's not carpet, it's tile. It really looked like carpet in that picture. But I was like, there's no way. In 2024, there's no way. In a house of this caliber, of this price. Oh, they messed with us. The kitchen looks very long in this picture, but then when you actually see it, it's actually not as big as it looks. Which is fine. I think it's a perfectly sized kitchen, but that is a deceptive picture. Though now that I'm looking at it, like in context with the rest of the house, I don't like the kitchen anymore. There's not a lot of like soft edges. There's not a lot of like warm woods. We don't have a lot of nature like inside the house. It feels very cold to me. It looks better at night. I will give it that. It does feel cozier like this. I'm confused as to where we are in this house. Like, I don't know. I have no idea. I assume this is the living room. They didn't even put a TV in. You can see like the sockets where the TV is supposed to be. They didn't even put the TV in. They said, F that. You're not getting a TV. There's something off. Something is really off about this house. I love the cobblestone. I do. I love that. That feels very organic and nice. And I do really like that. The one thing I like about the house is the outdoor flooring. And again, another wood tone. It's very boxy. Like now that I'm seeing the different angles of the house, I'm realizing it's just a box. And every room inside the box is another box. We have 2 full-length mirrors. I love that. Because why do we need that? 2 coffee tables, 2 kitchen islands, 2 full-length mirrors, 6 Pelotons. I think what throws me off about the gray wood is it doesn't feel very natural. Like, I mean, I guess in theory you could say most wood inside of a house is stained, but there's something about it that feels like kind of DIY, but like not in a good way. Like it kind of feels like it's like shabby chic, but masculine. Again, I'm not going to hate on the closet. Maybe that's a rule from now on. I just don't hate on the closets. At least it doesn't look like JCPenney. Not that there's anything wrong with JCPenney. I did shop at JCPenney as a kid. I'm not coming for JCPenney. I'm just saying if your house is $100 million, there's no reason why your closet should look like JCPenney. It's a lot of shelving, like a lot of open shelving. Actually, you know what? I am going to come for the closet because I like clutter to be put away. Like I like closed storage, and I feel like we could have had more closed storage here, but everything's just kind of open. And I feel like when you actually were to put your clothes in here, it would look very cluttered. I'm kind of jealous of the glam desk. As somebody who like barely wears any makeup, if I had a desk that looked like this to get myself ready, I would be dressed to the nines every day, fully glammed out every day. Just vibes immaculate. But I don't have that. But I kind of like it. I'm not gonna lie. The bathroom is nice. I feel like we finally got some continuity with the wood tones. Again, I have questions about how big the shower is and how much privacy you actually have, but I think it's fine. I think it could use like a fun colored rug. We could do some more plants. That is definitely a fake plant. I don't do fake plants. I hate fake plants. I understand some people have to have fake plants, but there will not be a fake plant in my home. Oh, no, I spoke way too soon. We have more of the gray wood. Okay, I think that that's marble. I think that that's not wood. Okay, scratch everything I said about the different wood tones. It's wood and it's also marble. His and hers sinks, I'm here for it. Or hers and hers, or his and his, and them, like whatever. I like 2 sinks for 2 people. I love these houses because I feel like they put so much effort into every other room, but then when they start getting to like the extra bedrooms, they just kind of like half-ass them. You have these like beautiful windows in all the other rooms, and then you have these weak little, measly little windows in this room. To me, that's a little fucked up. It looks like an Oreo. I actually like this bathroom. I think it's nice. I think it's a good balance. I like the color scheme. This room looks like it's in the basement of the house. Like with how high the windows are up, it kind of looks like it's like a basement bedroom. The wood looks very fake. Like it looks like the budget ran out and they put laminate down instead of hardwood. It kind of gives me the vibe of like a luxury apartment that put laminate flooring in because they didn't have the budget, and then they charge you $2,000 for rent. For the price of the house, it looks a little cheap to me. I like the bathroom. Yeah, again, I really like the combination of this countertop and the these drawers. I think that I like that kind of cool gray and warm wood tone. I think that looks really nice together. Actually, the one thing I like in this video is the sink. I'm assuming this is like an ADU. It looks like a hotel room. I guess that's not necessarily a bad thing. But again, for this house to be this expensive, I feel like it's just kind of falls flat. That's what this house feels like to me. It feels very flat. So that we end on a positive note, I'm going to show you one of my favorite homes. I love this home. This is going to be a less about hating the home and more about loving it. So this house is $6.4 million, 5 bedrooms, 6 baths, 5,900 square feet. And it was built in 1941. So it has some character. First off, the shape. I mean, it kind of a little bit reminds me of Falling Water, Frank Lloyd Wright. A little bit. I'm not saying it's Frank Lloyd Wright. I'm just saying it's Falling Water-esque, okay? I love the wood paneling on the outside. It's so warm and beautiful, and I think it goes so well with the greenery. I love the shape of the pool. I think it matches the home perfectly. These angled windows are so beautiful to me, and I love the paneling on the windows. I mean, can we just take a minute to appreciate? And I know the home has 2 different wood tones. And remember earlier I said having different wood tones is not a bad thing. And I think this is one of the places where it works, okay? I love, love, love the wood paneling with the beams on the ceiling and the skylights coming down, this wonderful like rock wall that adds like so much texture to the home. Oh my God, I like the fireplace. We have this like lovely fireplace, but it's not taking up too much space. It's not taller than you. It's not taking up the whole fucking room. It just adds to the space. Oh my God, there's so much color and warmth and light in this home. It's so gorgeous. Notice how we have 1 coffee table. Okay? Notice how there's a single coffee table. We don't have 2 coffee tables because we don't need 2 coffee tables. There's something that is so inviting and warm about it. And I think it's all these windows, but they don't feel too big. They're not overtaking the space. They're just adding to it. Dining room, I think it was so clever to put a bench and these 2 like statement chairs in the dining table. And I love that we have access to this big tree in the backyard. I think that that's absolutely wonderful. There's so much life in this home, and that's what I like in a home. I'm not going to lie, I'm not a huge fan of the kitchen. I like the cabinets, and I don't hate the flooring. I think if the backsplash was more of a off-white beige color, I would like it more. But it feels like we're teetering in between chef's kitchen and home kitchen, and I feel like we couldn't make a decision about what we wanted. But I love the shape of the kitchen. I love the angled windows. Again, there's so much sunlight. I said I love a window behind a sink, and that's exactly what's here. I feel like the size of the kitchen makes sense for the home. It's not oversized and massive, and we've got 75 fucking kitchen islands. I love the breakfast nook. We've got this like built-in bench. It feels very warm, very cozy. I feel like this light fixture goes really well with the aesthetic of the home and the doors leading out into the backyard. There's a ton of bookshelves in this home, so as a reader, I adore this. I love that. I like that the stone on the fireplace actually matches the stone in the living room from earlier. My one qualm is the carpet, but what are you going to do? The house was built in 1941. I really appreciate corner windows like this in a home. I think it just adds something really unique to the home. I like that the wood ceiling continues into the bedrooms. This sort of like home office space is so cool to me, and I love the step ladder leading up to this like bed up here. I feel like that would be really cool if you had kids and you have a desk with all of these windows looking out into the beautiful backyard. I'm here for it. It's not like the most spectacular thing I've seen, but I think the tones go really well together. It's not just beige, okay? It's like caramel. And I think that works really well in this home. That's what I like about this home is like we've kept the charm of the home and just updated it. Just beautiful and bright, but also simple and calming, which I think makes sense in a bedroom. I like a simple bedroom. Although if you saw my room, you probably would be like, your bedroom is not simple at all. When I'm fantasizing about being an ultra wealthy person, I like a simple bedroom. I like to imagine I have like a really stressful day job and I make like, $3 million a year, so it's worth it, but I have to come home and be in my zen bedroom, I probably would never leave my room if I lived here, which to be honest, I don't leave my room anyway, but I mean, I can't. The textured gray wall with these kind of gray tiles, but it contrasts with the wood paneling on the ceiling very well. I'm a big fan of like gray and warm wood. I think they go really nice together. It looks very organic, and it looks it reminds me of like being out in nature with the trees, but then also the rocks, and then you've got the actual trees to look through the window. And I think it's just really nice. I even think like the movie room looks really nice and organic. Like it's a humble movie room. I would never need to leave home if this was my home. I wouldn't have a thought. I would just exist as an entity if this were my home. This was fun. We should do it again. I think there's something to be said about being so delusional and judging a home that you can't afford and will never be able to afford. And I'm going to do it anyway, because if you're going to build a home that's $100 million, you have opened yourself up to criticism. And that's what I'm going to do. But everything is said with the understanding that I cannot afford this home. So it is said with criticism in mind, but I am not so much of a hater that I can't also stay humble in the process. What city should I judge next? There's so many homes in LA. This could become a series, but what city should I judge next? DC has some crazy homes. There's some homes in Canada that are way overpriced and definitely not worth it. Even the city I live in, lots of overpriced homes. So let me know. Should we do part 2 of judging LA homes, or should we choose a different city? I hope you enjoyed this video, and I'll see you in my next one.